Hey guys, this week we've got a couple of new assignments to do and a quiz. So let me run through this since I was not able to do you guys an orientation video last week. Couldn't get my technology to work like I wanted to, so hopefully this one will work out a little bit better. I just want to run through and make sure you guys did everything last week that I had for you to do in the announcements. And that you understand everything that's going on. First of all, I asked you guys to go through the Getting Started section that's right here. You had to do the Getting Started quiz to count as attendance by 11:59 last night. That was Thursday. Hopefully you all got that done. And then down here under course information, just be sure you've read through all of this as well as all the stuff in the Getting Started module. Getting Started module is a little bit more generalized information for Northeast and online courses at Northeast as a whole. Course information is more for our specific class, okay? I've got the syllabi there first, that really long name. That's just your formal syllabi with a little paper clip there. Then I have a course schedule. And if you look through the course schedule, you'll notice some stuff's not hyperlinked. That's because I'm not completely done with the class. I am trying to improve the class over what I had last semester, and so I'm still working on that. I hope to have all of that done by midterm or during midterm. I'm not midterm, spring break, sorry. I was looking at midterm when I said that. I don't have your midterm test or your final exam in place just yet. I am going to work on getting a shell ready for you guys today so that you can at least go ahead and make an appointment to take it, and then I'll get those two exams in there before it comes time to take them, okay? So right now, a lot of stuff is unpublished. When you look at the home screen or the modules page, they're the same thing. You'll notice there's not a whole lot on here. I've got Unit 1 and Unit 2 published, but I'll have, as I said, 3 and 4 done just as soon as I can, so you guys can get on in those if you want to work ahead a little bit. All right, instructor contact information and email policy is next. That's just got all of my location information, when my office hours are, email address. Of course, you can message me through Canvas, or you can send me messages through the homework problems, which is the best way to do it if you've got a question about a homework problem. Occasionally, I may ask you to send me a message with your homework in it, or not your homework, but your work on a certain problem in it if you've asked me a question about that problem. That way I can kind of help you troubleshoot your work, okay? Then homework information, quiz information, exam information. Be sure you click on these and read them so that you'll know exactly how homework works, how the quizzes work, and how the midterm and final work. Biggest thing I wanted to go ahead and tell you is that you do have late work penalties. I've got enough late passes for you to be able to take anything late that you need to take later, go back in later and improve your score. But there are penalties associated with those. For the homework, it is 50%. The video, I think I called them video lessons in y'all's class. Those are a 50% late penalty for anything that's done after the due date, and the quizzes and tests or the quizzes and the exams, because I use those to take attendance, I'm not allowed to deduct more than 10% for those, so those only have a 10% deduction, okay? All right, so testing center information, we do have a midterm and a final that are proctored. You will need to make an appointment to take those through the Smarter Proctoring link, which is right here. On the left-hand side of your screen. Now, if you've not taken an online class before and you're feeling a little unsure about how to deal with proctored exams, if you'll shoot me an email, I'll be glad to explain a little bit more about them. But basically, you just go somewhere and take the test while you're being watched, pretty much just like you would if you were in a classroom setting, okay? We have Northeast proctoring locations. We have other community college that are approved to proctor our exams. All those can be accessed through Smarter Proctoring. So if you'd rather take yours at ICC in Tupelo, that may be available for you depending on when you want to take it, okay? Our Boonville campus does take walk-ins, so if something happens and you can't get to the appointment that you have made, you can come to the actual testing location as a walk-in during their open hours. They do have new hours this semester, so if you have taken a class before, be sure you look at this testing center information page that I have in the modules, just to be sure you know the times, okay? And that's under course information as well. It's all the way down at the bottom. Then you have the full statistics textbook. You have some extra statistics lecture videos, which are great for instances where maybe I didn't cover in one of the other videos something that's in the homework. I am trying to match that up very closely, but it is a work in progress, and so I may miss something. That's why I stuck these in here, so that you've got full lecture videos. There is one you'll notice here in a second I've got to go in and fix, because I didn't get the, I didn't put that in the right place when I set up the page, and so it's not an actual video, it's just words. But the rest of the chapters are in here. And so, like I said, if you find the videos that I have embedded in the lessons kind of lacking, you can come there. You also got a lot of different videos on YouTube that are really good. Several different stats YouTubers do really good lessons on YouTube, and I can recommend a couple of those if you need me to. My open math practice, don't feel like you really have to do that. That's more of an algebra-based practice, and I don't think you guys are going to need much explanation as far as how to enter the numbers that y'all have to enter into my open math. Like any other homework system that's used, it can be a little particular about the way you enter things, about the syntax. Be sure you read the instructions really carefully on every problem. If it says round to 4 decimal places, round to 4 decimal places, unless the decimal truncates at 2 or whatever, okay? Don't round to 5, and if it does give you a bunch of decimal places, don't round it to 3 if it says 4, okay? Just pay attention to what it's telling you to do. This week, what we've got to do is Chapter 1 vocabulary video lesson and Chapter 1 frequency table video lesson. And then you have the frequency table quiz. Now, this quiz will count as your attendance this week. And these two are your homeworks on Chapter 1 that you've got to do. All that's due Thursday night at 11:59 this week. If we go in, we'll just take a quick look. Notice that I've got vocabulary, and I've got in some cases formulas, and then I've got the textbook sections also embedded in here. The textbook, and I don't always agree on things, but it's a pretty good textbook. If you have any discrepancies between what the textbook says and what a video tells you that I've got embedded, trust the video rather than the textbook, okay? It's not that the textbook's wrong, it's just that there's so many things in the statistics that can be done different ways, and occasionally things yield different results. Percentiles and quartiles are especially bad about that, so we'll have a discussion about that next week while we are going through that particular part of the textbook. The textbook does use a different formula from what we use in the homework, so I'll be sure that you guys are aware of that as we go through. I do have a video that matches the way the homework works, and so that's what we're going to go by there. There are a few things that I don't like in the textbook later on in later chapters, and we'll probably discuss that later as we get to those, okay? Now, on an iPad, if you open up the textbook, it really does not do anything. So what you're going to want to do if you're using an iPad is come up here and click on the little Chapter 1 textbook title that's got the arrow out next to it, and then it'll open up a PDF, which you can then save to your iPad if you want to, or you can just look at it here within the thing. There's plenty of stuff to look at. There are homework exercises at the end, and I believe the answers to the odds are also at the end of the individual chapters for this textbook. All right, that's my great back here. Go back into modules. So just to look at a video lesson, let's just take a look here. Now, if you're using the Canvas app, I'll show you some pages for that in just a second of what's going to happen when you come into them. But if you're using a browser, this is what you should see going through Canvas, the website, okay? And you'll have a video, you'll answer the questions, then you'll have another video, you'll answer some more questions, and so on and so forth until the whole thing is done. Now, there's going to be some places where you don't have video, and when that happens, go to the chapter videos that I showed you earlier and watch those too, or you can go back and look at the book too, and let the book kind of guide you through, especially in these early sections where we've got vocabulary mainly. Now, when a lesson comes due, what's going to happen is you are going to see up at the top, and let me see if I can show you on a different course. My college algebra class has already had some stuff due, so you can see what it looks like when you try to go into one that is time has been up. Alright, let's go into one of their video lessons and I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to connect to my Open Math still, but you're going to get this message on the screen. You guys have plenty of late passes to open up anything late, okay? The way I penalize late work is by a point penalty. So you can still get in it, but you will have a deduction for that, okay? On the video lessons, it's 50% of everything that's done after the due date has already passed. So you can use a late pass, or let's say you did it on time, but you still want to go back in and study maybe for the midterm or whatever, then you can continue in review mode. So we can either use a late pass, for which you will just click on that little, click on this little button that's right here, or you can continue in review mode, which we'll do. And here is what it looks like in review mode. Now you can answer the questions and it'll check your work, but none of it will be saved. So don't accidentally get in review mode and then email me and say, I worked the whole thing and got 100, but it didn't save my score. Well, it didn't save your score because you're in review mode, and I will be able to tell that, okay? So if you are going to go back and improve your score, you've got to use a late pass, go in and get that point deduction, okay? The best thing to do is to get these assignments done on time, but if something happens, that's why I've got the opportunity for you guys to get in and improve your score a little bit anyway, okay? All right. I can't think of anything else that I need to show you just from the student view. So I think that's everything. Just be sure every single week I'll post an announcement for you guys telling you what to do that week. And I'll shoot you out a quick little reminder message as well. Now, sometimes I forget the message, or sometimes I may be at school and I have to go to class before I get to send that message out. So just know that every week you will have a new announcement. If you don't hear from me, just go ahead and go look for that announcement, okay? And if you don't see it come up at the right time, if you want to shoot me an email to tell me, that's fine. You can do that. I have a lot going on, and I do occasionally forget to do stuff. So anytime you have something that you've asked me to do, or if I've told you I'm going to do something and I don't get it done, just email and remind me, okay? And any questions that you have, please shoot me a Canvas message, email, or like I said, if it's from a problem in the homework, send me a message from that problem. Let me show you where to do that while I'm thinking about it. And again, this is college algebra, but y'all's will look the same. Well, I thought anyway. And now I don't see it on there. There should be a thing down here under questions that says ask your instructor a question. I will go check and make sure that's for you guys and for them too, since I don't see it on there, so that you can click it and just send me a question straight from the problem. Be sure if you do that, you tell me what's wrong, okay? Tell me what you got. It's not taking it, what it's doing, if it's giving you an error message or whatever. Give me some sort of context, otherwise I won't know how to answer, okay? All right, guys, I'll see you later.